Hey everybody, this is the Nomad TCG. I'm coming back at you with another deck profile. And today's deck profile is going to be my Cardfight Vanguard, Destined One of Infinity, Levidras deck profile for post Omniscient Awakening. So Levidras is the Destined One of Infinity for Stoicheia that was introduced in Booster Pack 4, Destined Showdown. And this card and Zorga are honestly the two cards that reformed me into, or reformed me from being a Stoicheia hater. I just wasn't a huge fan of the decks and like the vibe of the nation at all before, but these two decks really changed my mind. And now Levidras and Zorga are my two #1 decks to play in Standard right now. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. For the ride line, obviously we have the energy generator, and we are sticking with the same ride line that was introduced in Destined Showdown with Stagnipper Dragon, Scorepiercer Dragon, Manti Scythe, and obviously Levidras. We are keeping base Levidras in the ride line, just so we are guaranteed to have at least one Levidras in the soul whenever we ride on to the Destined King. So its skill is actually pretty mid for the base one, but Emperio makes it a lot better. So its skill is once per turn, counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards and one of your opponent's rear guards and put an Infinity Eyes marker on each of them. And then when any player's unit on a rear guard with an Infinity Eyes marker attacks or boosts, you may have that unit gain 10,000 power or lose 10,000 power. If your opponent gets or loses 10,000 power, remove your Infinity Eyes markers from that rear guard and draw a card. So, spoiler alert, you're not going to really need to worry about having any draws in this deck because Levidras itself has so much draw power. And then for the Divine skill, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your rear guards and one of your opponent's rear guards, put an Infinity Eyes marker on each of them, and then this unit gains 10,000 power and a critical until the end of the turn. So double crit on attack, and then 23k boost depending on what you have in your back row. That can be more. And then obviously getting the Infinity Eyes markers, obviously something you definitely want because that's pretty much what this whole deck revolves around. But that's it for the ride line. For the main deck, we are running 3 more copies of base Levidras. Obviously you're going to want these for pretty much hand fodder, I guess, for Emperio skill. Or in case you can't get Emperio, that extra Persona ride, and the 10k power to your front row, draw power, all that good stuff. And then if you hadn't used it yet, use the Divine skill as well to get that. And then obviously the main attraction for this deck is 4 copies of Destined King of Infinity, Levidras Emperio. So for its passive skill, this unit is also regarded as Destined One of Infinity, Levidras. During your turn, this unit gets 5,000 power for each of your Destined One of Infinity Levidras and all of their Divine skill. So you can run this in the ride deck if you want. I am choosing not to, just because right now, other than Manti Scythe, which is the grade 2 in the ride line, there is no search power in order to find Levidras. There might be more later on. Actually, I think if you have in the Dim Darkness the Cold Resentment or the Frozen Resentment, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose a card from among them, discard it, shuffle the deck, choose a card from your drop with a grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, and call it to rear guard. So actually, never mind. I feel like a real silly goose for pulling that out in the middle of a deck profile. But there is currently no other searcher for to find either Levidras or Levidras Emperio from your deck. From what we've seen in the anime of Season 3, there might be a new card for it coming in Set 7 or Set 8. I don't remember the name of the card, but it's called Panthero or something like that. But yeah, we are definitely running 4 of these, and obviously whenever you ride this on to base Levidras, it is regarded as a Persona ride. And then, let's see. It's once per turn effect, counterblast 1, or put a card from your hand into your soul. Choose 2 of any player's rearguard circle and put an Infinity Eyes marker on each of them. If you put a grade 3 or greater card with Levidras in its card name for this cost, choose 3 instead of 2. So ideally, you're going to want to have 10 Infinity Eyes markers on each of your opponent's rearguard circles for either whenever they're attacking or boosting. If you have 5 on your opponent's field, pretty much they're hitting you with nothing. And then obviously you draw 2 cards. So this card is a nuisance, which is why it is so on top in Standard in America right now. And then when any player's unit on... Well, actually, I guess that's just the same skill as on here. So I don't need to go over that again. This deck is a little grade 3 heavy, so this is why we need the draw power for drawing cards with shield. For the last of the grade 3s, we are running 4 copies of Knight of Formosity Charmne. Its drop effect: if there are 3 or more Infinity Eyes markers, and you do not have a rear guard with the same name as this unit, Soul Blast 1, call it to rear guard. So superior calling from the drop zone, which can also kind of go hand in hand with searching for Infinity Knowledge to get the extra search from the drop zone. And when this unit attacks, if your Infinity Eyes marker is in the same column as this unit, retire another rear guard, and this card gains 10,000 power until the end of that turn. At the end of that battle, retire this unit and draw a card. So you can use this as a recycler as well. So if you have this on your field, all you need to do is superior call, Soul Blast 1, and you can superior call it from the drop zone. The only thing you'd have to do is be careful that you are not soul blasting any Levidras, any base Levidras from your soul. Otherwise, Emperio skill won't be as good. So recycling that from the drop zone, recyclers, which kind of seems to be like a big thing Stoicheia does along with attacking from the back row. All right, for the grade 2s, we are running 3 copies of Onfall Anatogaster. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if your Infinity Eyes marker in the same column as this unit, Energy Blast 3, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose a card from among them, put it into hand, and put the rest on the top or bottom of the deck, and each unit gains 5,000 power until the end of turn. And then its passive skill: during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Levidras in its card name, and there are 3 or more Infinity Eyes markers, this unit gets 5,000 power, and your back row, or if your back row has no other rear guards in the same card, with the same card name as this unit, it can attack from the back row. So obviously you cannot have 2 Onfalls in the back row and have either one of them gain the ability to attack from the back row. You're going to be wanting to run, I don't know, Charmne or Inquisitive Squirrel, Clarence, something else. You're going to want something else on that other back row rear guard circle for either a boost or attacking from the back row using Foxseal's skill. For the rest of the grade 2s, for the last of the grade 2s actually, we are running 3 copies of Skullclaw's Huntsman Huli. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if your Infinity Eyes marker is in the same column as this unit, counterblast 1, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less card from your drop and call it to rear guard. If there are 3 or more Infinity Eyes markers, this unit gets 10,000 power until the end of turn. So once again, recycler and an extra 10k boost. And then put that on top of an Infinity Eyes marker. That's an extra 30k right there, 30k attacker. We are running, for the grade 1s, we are running 4 copies of Inquisitive Squirrel. Its effect is at the end of the battle, this unit boosted, Soul Blast 1, and move this card to an open back row rear guard. If you move it to a rear guard with an Infinity Eyes marker, stand this unit and it gains 5,000 power. So you can use this for either boosting or attacking using Foxseal's skill, and you also don't have, usually whenever you move something you have to move it to the rear guard that's either in front or behind it, but this you can move it from side to side, so you could call it to your back left or middle, whichever one you decide to do, or vice versa. We are running 2 copies of Full Knowledge Foxseal. During the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Levidras in its card name, this unit gets 5,000 power, 13k boost. When this unit boosts a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with with Levidras in its card name. If your opponent has an Infinity Eyes marker, this unit gets 2,000 power, and until the end of that turn, counterblast, or at the end of that battle, and then counterblast one, choose one of your back row rear guards, and it gains 10,000 power till the end of that turn, and can attack on the back row. So pair this with like a Huli or something you have on a back row, and then also pair that with an Anatogaster. You have the ability to attack 5 times in a row, including your front row and back row rear guards. So Foxseal is kind of an integral part to this deck. You can run more if you want to. Currently, I'm just running 2 to make room for Knight of Silent Illusion Clarence. Its skill is at the end of the battle, this unit attacked or boosted if your Infinity Eyes marker is in the same column as this unit and you did not countercharge this turn, put this unit into your soul, countercharge 1. Countercharges are also useful just because there are actually a lot of counterblasts in Vanguard decks these days. So you're definitely going to want to run a bunch of those. And then for the perfect guards, we are running ideally 3 copies of Custodial Dragon. I only have 2, so we're putting Alejandra in there just kind of as a base. You're going to want to definitely run 3 copies of Custodial just in case you, on the off chance, don't have 18 cards in your hand to pay for the cost. You do have that option to pay it for free. And then we are running the 1 copy of Elementaria Sanctitude for that extra triple drive defense. And then we are also going to be running 1 copy of Protection Twincast as the Regalis piece for this deck. And choose one of your units being attacked and gains 10,000 power till the end of that battle. Its continuous effect is, well, I guess it can be resolved, you know. Anyways. When your opponent is attacked, this is a drop effect, by the way. When your unit is attacked, remove this card from your drop, choose one of your units being attacked, and it gains 5,000 power for each battle, or until the end of that battle, for each grade of that unit. Obviously, you're going to use this on your grade 3, so you gain the 15,000 power from the drop zone. And then for the last of the orders, we are running just 2 copies of Searching for Infinity Knowledge, just in case you get something in your drop zone that you didn't want to be there. Maybe you got a heal, maybe Onfall ended up in the damage zone, and then you got a heal trigger. So you definitely want to use this to bring that back to the field and get those 5 attacks. And for the triggers, we are going to be running Source Dragon Deity, Blessed Favor as the over trigger. This is honestly a pretty powerful over trigger. Additional effect, draw a card, choose one of your units, and it gains 1 critical until the end of the turn. All of your front row units get 10,000 power if your damage zone has the same number of cards as your opponent or more. Choose a card from your damage zone and heal it. So you're using this as a critical, as a draw trigger, and as a heal trigger at the same time. Actually, it's all 4 triggers at once. I'm pretty sure maybe not every, but a lot of over triggers have all the effects of all the other triggers. Maybe that's why it's called an over trigger. I don't know. I just realized that filming this video. And for the triggers, you're going to be wanting to run 8 crits with 4 Alanas, 4 Vanillas. I'm using obviously Sylvan Horn Beast triggers because they're cheap. You'll probably want to run more Alanas, but I'm just using the Morphonicas right now because I don't have any more Alanas. You're going to be wanting to run 3 fronts for the extra rear guard power, and then also 4 vanilla heals because heal triggers are kind of garbage because they're very, very circumstantial, and they don't work with every deck you play, and I don't think anybody wants to carry around a bunch of extra triggers in the deck. Anyways, so that was my Destined 1 of Infinity Levidras deck profile, or I guess you could say Destined King, because Emperio is in this deck somewhere. But it's a very good deck. It is on top in the standard for a reason. Well, Raziel and Varga Rakshasa are also at the top. But, you know, those decks are at the top for a reason. Infinity Eyes is kind of broken. And there was it's not as good in Japan because they have a crossover deck for Keter Sanctuary, I think. I don't remember what it was, but they did have a crossover deck that keeps Levidras in check. So that's why it is currently not on top there. just because they have the other things to keep Levidras in check. Well, anyways, thank you guys very much for watching the video. I do apologize for being gone for so long. Like I said in the other deck profile, in the Alden deck profile, I am filming all of these at once. It is currently 10:56 at night, but I'm going to record as many of these as I can, stagger out the releases, just so I have some content to upload for you guys. But anyways, thank you very much for watching the video, and y'all have a wonderful day.